Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of our Southbound series. And this is going to give me an opportunity to take you guys along on one of my most favorite drives in all of the US. This is Highway 395 in California. This runs down the east side of the Sierra. It takes us basically from Carson City, Nevada, all the way down to Los Angeles. But I typically jump off right after Lone Pine and head over towards Death Valley. This is an amazing tour, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. All right, I'm just north of Bishop on a road called Silver Canyon Road. Now, I haven't done this road in, I was thinking, 25 years probably. We did this in our Tacoma that Kathy and I used to travel all over the West End. We came down this road. I remember it being pretty exposed in some places and definitely an interesting drive. But that was a long time ago, so I don't know what's changed. And this time I'm gonna go up, and we're gonna go up to the top of the White Mountains, which is where we're gonna meet our old friends. Now there is another way to get up there. You can drive south of town and then stay on pavement the whole way up to the top of the White Mountains. I like the idea of making this more of a loop or an up and over and not having to backtrack. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're going up Silver Canyon Road. Should be interesting. Let's see what we get into. Hopefully we can get through in the big van. Okay, the road's starting to get rocky, and that can only mean one thing. It's air down time. Let's air down really quick, and we're gonna get moving up this road. This road isn't really that bad so far. It's just kind of a nice graded road, but there are lots of rocks and some washboard. And I'm gonna drop the air pressure down to about 30 all the way around, and that'll just smooth things out and give me a little better traction and definitely better ride quality. So let's drop it right now.
On the road with a motorbike, hanging around between the mountains, coast to coast, you know how to drive. Dragonflies around the sunset, can you believe we're together? We're celebrating September. What do you mean it's forever? Forever is a time to be with you. Playing games, show me how you jump off a cliff into the water. Taxi boat, where's that behind? Rainbow rain in every color. We go around the island. What do you mean it's a one way? We're in the middle of nowhere, and all we wanna do is fall in love. Yeah. All I wanna do is fall in love. Yeah. All I wanna do is all I wanna do is fall in love with you. All I wanna do is fall in love, yeah. All I wanna do is do the ha 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 ha. All I wanna do is fall in love with you. From Father's place, we saw outer space. Immortal love, we took
These are some very steep hills here, very steep grades.
yeah, when lights were off, we shot fireworks, and everywhere we can get the flow.
All right, I'm about halfway up. I found this cool little pull-off. This is actually a campsite here. There's a couple fire rings. It was a great place to stop and have lunch. I think we're through the steepest part of this. Now, those are famous last words from what I remember from 25 years ago. I have at least 2 miles to get up there. And, you know, that doesn't seem very far at all, but when you're going, 4 miles an hour, creeping up the side of a mountain, it can take a little bit. I feel like I'm getting close. This has been a good stop here to kind of let my transmission cool off. I was watching the gauge. It was definitely getting really warm. So it's good to, when you see that, the temperature's rising, especially, something where you're just cranking in 4x4 low for a long ways. It's a good idea to keep an eye on it. When you see the gauge just starting to get, getting pretty hot, it's a good idea just to find a place, pull over, and hang out for 20, 30 minutes and let everything cool off. And then you can get back after it again. Because we still got to meet up with my very old friends. All right. We just made a lot of progress and we're getting up here. It's gonna mellow out here in just a second. Well, we made it. This is where I'm gonna meet my old friend and I can't wait. It's a beautiful place for us to meet up and this is the last place where we saw each other. Good morning, White Mountains, California. I am way up here about 10,000 feet. And look, I found my old friends, the Bristlecone Pines. These are some of the oldest trees in the world. In fact, just right over here is the oldest tree in the world. It is 5,000 years old is what it's estimated at. And there are many here that are 1,000 to 4,000 years old. And these right here are the dead ones, and who knows how old they are, but they are almost like these just sculptures. This wood is almost hard as stone, and it's just carved from the wind. And you'll see some of these that half of them are alive and half of them are dead. They've been up here in the elements getting beaten by the wind, taking the most punishing conditions there are, but they thrive up here, and they can live for thousands and thousands of years, which is really amazing. And photographically, they just make these amazing forms and shapes. They're like sculpture, and every one of them's different. Their roots are twisted, their limbs are worn and eroded away from the wind, and they are just incredible, incredible things. I'm super excited to be exploring up here with my camera. These are a really fun thing to photograph, and the light is just gorgeous. The sun just came over the horizon. We are right here at the very top of tree line. Look up there, there's hardly anything above me, and it's really just the bristlecones up here. So behind me is the patriarch tree. This is the largest bristlecone pine ever recorded. Its base is, I don't know, I haven't read this officially, but it looks like 12, 15 feet in diameter. It's a big old base. It is the largest tree, not the oldest tree. I've read online that this is about a 1,500-year-old tree, so kind of young in comparison to a lot of the trees that are up here, but it is the largest. So it must be in the perfect place, getting water, sun, and shelter from the wind, and it is just growing like crazy. And right now I'm in the Patriarch Grove. This is the furthest grove up the road. So there's two ways really to get up here. One is you come up the canyon like I did yesterday, and that I wouldn't recommend that to just everyone. If you're really looking for an adventure, that's a way to find it. But be known that it is a difficult 4x4 road, and it has some pretty nasty little spots where you definitely want to know what you're doing and be ready for a pretty good adventurous drive. The other way to get here is you'll go south out of Bishop to the town of Big Pine. Big Pine, you'll go back east, and then you'll follow the road up here onto the White Mountain Road, and it'll bring you up here, and you'll go through a few different groves. There's actually bristlecones right off the road in many places, but there are a few places where they're designated viewing areas where they have little hiking trails that go through the best forests of bristlecone, and I'd recommend checking those out. I'd like to give a big thanks to our Patreon patrons. These guys are listed right here. Thank you guys so much for your support. It really does make a huge difference. And if you guys don't know about our Patreon, it is a great way to support content creators, myself included, but anybody else that you appreciate their work. It's a great way to just give them a thank you and help them be out here creating all this content that you really enjoy. So it's a way of giving your thanks. Link to it is right here. And on our Patreon, we have field guides offered. So our field guide started in Baja, where once we got down there, we realized that we'd been asking the wrong questions all along. So when we got back, we compiled all the stuff that we felt like was really important, and it was the stuff that most people weren't really talking about. We put this into this document, put it on our Patreon, and now our patrons have access to this to use to plan their own trips. So check it out. We hope these field guides just help your trip go a little more smoothly. All right, it's feeling like breakfast time. The light is going away. It's turning more into midday light from that beautiful morning light that I just had. And I think I'm gonna get ready to go on to my next spot, which is gonna be a really cool place. It's gonna be the last spot that I share with you guys from this Highway 395 East Ride of the Sierra trip that I've been on. And it is a classic. And I think it's one that you guys will enjoy as well. All right, let's get going. back in one of my favorite spots in the Alabama Hills. It is so beautiful here. This is definitely a mega stop on the East Side experience. If you've never been here, you've got to come here. If you've been here, you're going to want to come back. In the last few years, they've kind of cracked down on the camping situation, and there's far less campsites than there's ever been. But it's still really good, and it's worth a visit. I rolled into here today on a Sunday afternoon about 2 o'clock, and there was tons of campsites to choose from. So it didn't keep me from finding a spot at all. Although some of my favorites that are over on the west side are now off limits. You can still go over there and recreate as far as day use. You just can't camp in some of the places where we used to get to. But it is just beautiful. This is just a really neat place to come and camp. All right, good morning, Alabama Hills. This is an amazing place to watch the sunrise. Not only come up here over the White Mountains, but also you get to see it off over Whitney, the highest point in the lower 48. There's not another mountain higher until you get to Alaska. The alpenglow on Whitney this morning is over the top. It is just glowing. The Sierra Nevada is called the Range of Light, and this is exactly why. I decided now I'm gonna go for a little hike. I'm gonna walk around here through some of these little canyons that are formed between these big rocks. It's a great way to kind of get out and see things in the morning. So far it's just me and the ravens here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Please, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really does help our channel grow. And I'm so glad I could take you guys on this tour of Highway 395 through the east side of the Sierra in California. It really is a magical drive. This is one of my most favorite places in the world. I've been up and down this highway many times, and every time it's just as exciting as the first. So check it out if you guys get a chance. But that's it for now. I hope I see you guys somewhere over the horizon. Take care. We'll see you next time.